Good morning and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
I'm Brendan here with Trevor, who's in for Heather again on this holiday. Thanks for waking up early for us, Trev.
Yep, no problem. As always, pleasure to be here.
And sure, it's nice to see the sun there behind you at the Mackinac Bridge.
It is. Yeah, they're getting a little bit of sunshine here early. And I had mentioned kind of briefly in one of my casts that I was actually areas up towards the northeastern part of the tip of the mid, out east, could actually see a little bit of sunshine today. If anyone's going to see some sunshine today, our folks over in Atlanta, Maya, Alpena, Harrisville, Rogers City, they've got the best chance to see some sunshine, and maybe southern Mackinac County as well. But otherwise, pretty cloudy day today. And the big storyline, weather-wise, you know what it is by now, right?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people have been talking about it, too.
Yep.
Because a lot of people obviously traveling today, tomorrow, into the weekend for Thanksgiving.
Right. Huge traveling day, huge traveling time for not only today, but the entire week, and especially this weekend as well. And I will say that beyond today, especially after sunset today, traveling conditions do not look great, especially if you're in the snow belts. So, yeah.
And maybe the turkey's in the oven, you're waiting for company.
Yeah, at this point, I imagine people who are joining us live right now are probably in the middle of some kind of Thanksgiving preparation, in which case, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. Yeah, you can stay with us as long or as short as you want. If you're like the Kinneys, you're waiting to the last minute to finish cleaning and cooking and things like that. But at least it gets done, right, Trevor?
It does get done.
Eventually gets done, yeah. Let us know what you're up to today, and we're already seeing comments and no guesses to the weather quiz. If we could do a plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius, that'd be great, a half a point. Just consider it, okay?
Okay.
If you don't mind. Half partial credit.
Partial credit?
No, I'm just salty because I got it wrong again today. Yeah.
But you know, Sarah and Gib were on, well, no, not Gib, but Sarah was on me about it. I was like, how am I even supposed to know this? I'm never going to get this right, and you guessed and got it right. So sometimes it's just a matter of luck.
But we learned something. At least I did. So thank you, Trevor.
That's the best part, is learning something new, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Keeps the mind sharp.
Try to learn something new every day. Yeah. That's the best part about this job, is whenever I go out and report, I almost always learn something new whenever I go out and report, because I talk to experts all the time. So it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, you get to be an expert, a partial expert.
I get to be the second-hand expert, yeah.
Yeah, a second-hand expert in a bunch of different topics, yeah.
The mouth to ears or whatever, how that works.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you want, get in the weather quiz, and I'm sure a lot of people want to hear that travel forecast, Trev.
Yes, absolutely. So, getting into the weather quiz, I thought this was a perfect time to pull this out, since entirely what's going to be impacting all of our travel over the course of the next couple of days and later tonight as well is all lake effect snow. We don't have any really big systems coming through. It's just really cold air going over the lake, and because we have those lakes, it's lake effect snow. It's crazy to think, if we didn't have the lakes next to us right now, we wouldn't be getting any snow over the next 5-6 days. But that's not what's happening, because we have the Great Lakes. So what is the temperature difference required? So there, just a little bit of context. I'm not going to get too much into it. We know from physics and meteorology knowledge that a temperature differential between two places, a lot of times we refer to as instability, instability in the atmosphere. It basically talks about energy that's available, and you can create that energy a lot of times as a result of temperature differentials between two areas and a pressure differential between two areas. So when there's a massive temperature disparity between land and ground, sometimes you can create storms, or in this case, snow. What is the temperature differential required between the surface water temperature and the temperature way up in the air at about 5,000 meters for the atmosphere to produce lake effect snow? And this is for specifically lake effect snow. This rule does not apply for a normal synoptic systems or anything like that. And this is in degrees Celsius there, if you can see that at the back end there. It's in degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. I know we're not used to that unit of measurement, but that's what I learned it in college, because weather happens all over the world, and the majority of the world uses the metric system. All I did was work with metric units. So that's what I know is in Celsius. And I actually had to look up well, not look up, but I had to do the conversion in my head. I was like, what would that even be in Fahrenheit? Because I didn't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because I learned it in Celsius. 7, 11, or 13. Hey, 7, 11. I did not do that on purpose, by the way. And 13 degrees are our answer choices there. So we'll let you think on that, and then we'll get into the forecast. So, yeah, at this point, if you didn't know what was happening, it's been the big storyline. It's been the story all week. And as I had mentioned, the lake effect snow. That's what we're going to be getting late tonight. We're already getting it. I mean, if I could start with, I almost always start with radar, but I'm going to do it again. Radar seems like such a cheap scapegoat to like start weather. Like, what's happening? That's what's happening. So, lake effect snow in the common areas, right? The northwest snow belt regions. And we say snow belts because there's 2 different lakes that are causing this, right? We got Lake Superior and then Lake Michigan. The northwest snow belt region refers to the region, the broad region or area that receives the most snowfall during a lake effect snow event from a wind direction on a certain angle. So the northwest snow belt region would be a northwest snow or a northwest flow of the wind across the lakes. And for the eastern upper, that's basically the entire top half of the Upper Peninsula. That extends all the way from Sioux through the entirety of northern Chippewa, all the way up to Whitefish Point, and all the way through northern half of Luce County. That is a northwest snow belt. And then in the northern lower specifically, it's like Charlevoix, Antrim, northern Kalkaska, and Crawford counties, and then basically the entirety of Otsego County. Gaylord and Mansalona are really like the 2 biggest areas. I think they receive the most snowfall on average, and most of it's due to lake effect snow. And then sometimes a semi-secondary, quote-unquote, snow belt region from the northwest can be on the southeastern side of like Grand Traverse County down towards Cadillac. Sometimes in exceptionally unique conditions, you can get a lot of snow to pile up there from northwest snow. But that's what we're looking at mainly. And so that's where our higher accumulations are going to be. In cases like this, northwest snow events, if you go further and further east, you don't really get a whole lot. So like in the downtown of Alpena and Harrisville, I suspect they probably won't get a whole lot of snow out of this. But areas in the northwest snowbelt region, both in the eastern upper and northern lower, in Gaylord, Mansalona, as I mentioned, Whitefish Point, any of the areas, anywhere in that broad region could receive potentially upwards of a foot of snow or more over the course of like the next 3 or 4 days. Everywhere else is probably going to be anywhere from 3 to 6 inches. Over the course of tonight, probably more like 1 to 3. So not much for most areas, but in the thick of it, in the heart, you could get quite a bit to pile up in a very short amount of time. So now we'll look at the stormcast for today. As I mentioned multiple times, pretty much the entirety throughout the show, I think during the actual daytime today, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of accumulation, and the intensity is not going to be very high for at least the daytime. Now, over the course of the day through the afternoon, you will begin to see more and more areas receiving that lake effect snow, but it's not going to really ramp up in intensity until overnight. I think I was looking at a packet from the NWS Gaylord, and we kind of agreed on this, that there's going to be a dramatic, and that's kind of the word we use, like a dramatic increase in intensity in some areas with the lake effect snow past like 7 o'clock today, especially in areas with the northwest snow belt. So again, that's like Sioux and Gaylord. We're looking at potentially pretty intense snow for some areas. So again, that's past 7 o'clock. And then, I mean, we're just going to have northwest flow for the next several days, along with that cool air that's coming in out of the Arctic today. And so for the next several days, it's just going to be lake effect snow, and more lake effect snow. So that runs through the entirety of the forecast. And because of that lake effect snow and because of the conditions right now, the National Weather Service in Gaylord has issued a winter storm warning. And this is important. This is a warning. This is not a watch anymore. This is a winter storm warning for the pink shaded counties. In my mind, they issued it a little early, but I think this is just them being proactive, trying to get people to be aware of what's happening and what we're thinking as the potentially highest risk possible to initiate it early. So pink shaded counties, that's northern half of Chippewa, not the entirety of Chippewa, but basically the entire northern half of Chippewa, all of Luce County, Charlevoix, Otsego, Antrim, Crawford, and Kalkaska counties have winter storm warnings for potentially dangerous, potentially dangerous snowfall is pretty much the easiest way to put it. So if we're looking at, I kind of want to look at a packet from the National Weather Service because they do a good job describing this sort of thing. Actually, the packet's on the other PC over there that I shut down, so never mind. We're not going to look at that. But that's what we're looking at over the course of the next several days. Important reminders about lake effect snow, especially if you're in these high risk areas. Visibility can drop very, very quickly in and out of lake effect bands. Not every lake effect band is always going to be the same intensity, which is why a lot of times it can be very difficult to pinpoint exactly how much snow we're going to get. The wind direction also has a good amount to do with that as well. But if you're driving in and out, especially beyond tonight going through tomorrow and Saturday, if you're driving around, moving around in and out of these potentially intense lake effect bands, you can drop visibility very quickly. You can get snowfall amounts anywhere from 1 to 3 inches per hour at times. And that makes like slick roads, potential. I think you live in northern Michigan for a long enough amount of time. I'm sure you've heard all this before, but it's just a reminder that to do not underestimate snow, especially when you're driving, because that's obviously life-threatening stuff that we want to avoid, if possible. Last thing I will show before Brendan Kinney is not at the desk anymore. I don't know where he is, so maybe I'll just wait for him to get back. We'll show the snowfall. This is this is the HER model. We show different models all the time. They all have different names. This one is specifically the HER, which specializes in like short range, which whenever we say short range, we're looking like within a 12 to 24 hour period. This refreshes basically every 3 hours or every 6 hours. This model run was released at 6 o'clock in the morning, so there'll be another one here pretty soon. But this is over the course of, first I want to show the daytime today and then tomorrow, right? So I'm like, at this point, so what are we? We're in December now, basically. Not quite. We're a few days out from that. But here's the snowfalls through 5:30. So again, this is basically the sunlight hours, right? At this point, the sun will be almost entirely gone. And as I mentioned, throughout the actual daytime, we're not looking at a whole lot of snow. It doesn't look like some areas may get an inch. Otherwise, for the most part, it's going to be a good amount less than that. Now, it's beyond this, again, by around 7 o'clock tonight or past 7 o'clock tonight and overnight, that there's going to be a dramatic increase in the overall intensity of said lake effect snow. And so overnight tonight leading to tomorrow morning and over the course of tomorrow, you could add quite a bit more snowfall. Now, you might be looking at this and going, what in the world? You're going to tell me that Sioux's going to get 52 inches of snow? The answer is no. I highly doubt they will get that much. But this model is showing what could happen if they have constant lake effect bands over a long period of time. Generally speaking, most areas, again, as I mentioned, will probably receive 3 to 6 inches of snow if you're a good distance away from the shoreline. If you hug the shoreline, you probably get a lot less than that for the most part.
2 inches?
Yeah, I had just addressed that. That I was like, yeah, no. I highly doubt that happens, by the way. I mean, I've heard of crazy lake effect snow events. Like there was that one in Hamilton, which is west of Buffalo, a couple years ago, that they got 80 inches over the course of a couple of days. That's a very extreme scenario. Which is why I wanted to point that I kind of nipped that in the butt, because like, it is extremely unlikely that they will get that much snow. But lake effect snow can pile up in very high amounts. And so in close proximity to that, you could see like Newberry by Saturday morning, it's like 14 inches. I don't think that's completely unreasonable at all. As a matter of fact, I think some areas will very likely, some localized areas, isolated areas, could very well receive that much snow from lake effect snow, especially in the northwest snowbelt regions. So Gaylord and Grayling looking at anywhere from 5 to 7, 8, 9 plus inches of snow. Again, the secondary snowbelt region, which extends down towards about Cadillac, Traverse City down to Cadillac, again, maybe another 4, 5, 6 inches of snow there as well. And then localized higher amounts could be as much as a foot or more over the course of this just runs through Saturday morning. That's like Saturday 4:15 a.m. And this snow event at the moment runs through at least the end of Sunday. And then our wind direction will change a little bit on Monday to more out of the north, and that kind of changes where exactly the snow is going to land. But at the moment, that's what we're looking at. And I wish I still had that. Packet. I don't even know if I could show that because I think I have to run that through CG, like graphics in the show. I don't even know if I could show that on screen or not. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. You want to turn it over to comments, questions? I'm sure people have a lot of questions.
More some comments, actually. Not a lot of questions yet. We'll see. And some compliments for you, Trev. All right, we'll start with Gail, who's at the top of my list here, saying Happy Thanksgiving. Hi, Gail. Good morning, 29 degrees and cloudy. Actually, Trev, we have about the same amount of viewers live now as what we have on a non-holiday, so we have some dedicated viewers. We appreciate it. Paul is saying good morning from Rancho City. Nancy watching from East Jordan, where it's 32. Paula is saying Happy Thanksgiving from a cloudy Boyne Falls, 31 degrees. I see there is a winter storm warning. Yikes.
Yes, there is.
Yep. And happy Friday Eve, Paula. I have not thought about that once until just now. She likes to say happy Friday Eve. We like it. Judy is saying happy Thanksgiving, and Judy is also saying about you, Trevor. You are extremely knowledgeable about the weather. I've learned a lot in just this short time. Thank you.
You're welcome. I could talk all day. I'm very similar to the weather as I am sports. Like, if you get me going, I could talk a long, long time. I could talk a long time.
He spent a lot of time studying in Iowa for all
Iowa
this shooting.
State. Cyclones.
Iowa State. Yep.
Go Cyclones.
And her guess is 11 for the weather quiz, Trev.
Okay. Oh, yeah, by the way, I need to pull that back up, don't I?
Who else do we have? Susie Q is with us on this Thanksgiving. Hi, Susie Q. Said, good morning, friends. 28 in Frederick. Code red for our area, maybe 2 feet of snow. I'm not sure what code red means.
Code red basically is like a winter storm warning. It's also like the highest possible risk. Again, like I had mentioned that like some areas like probably get over like a foot, but Gaylord was actually saying kind of what she had announced. Like it is not out of the question. The possibility is there that some localized areas over the course of the next 72 to 84 hours could get legitimately 2 feet of snow. It's lake effect snow. It's not impossible. The HERS showed 52 inches in Sault Ste. Marie. Again, I don't think that's actually going to happen, but it's lake effect snow is so unpredictable. It certainly can happen.
Sounds like she's excited about this situation. I'm excited about the food situation she has going on. She said, I just have the turkey, potatoes, and stuffing to do. Yum. Paul is guessing 7 for the weather quiz. Nancy is guessing 13, so is Paula. Dave said, happy Thursday from Breckenridge. Make it a good day, everyone. Dave, we had somebody yesterday, I think it was, named Donald, watching from Breckenridge. I don't know if there's any connection there. Sandy is saying happy Thanksgiving. Saw her twice over the weekend, 2 separate days. She said, sending hugs, and she also said, we dodged the snowstorm, speaking of Leelanau County, and saying happy Thanksgiving there.
Happy Thanksgiving.
What else do we have? Susan Lash Sims watching again from Kalkaska. Happy Thanksgiving to you. It's cloudy. It's 30 degrees. Guessing 13 for the weather quiz. Gail guessing 11. Joe saying happy Thanksgiving, UpNorthLive. Bring on the snow.
We're going to get some.
We have the Roubadeaux watching. Good morning from Mark and Kelly and Tyler, too.
My brother's here? Hi. I bet.
Go ahead.
Actually, I don't know. Is he with my parents right now? I have no idea if he's back home or not. No clue.
Maybe your parents are just bringing him into the conversation.
Yeah.
He's part of the family, part of the conversation, so. Good morning and happy Thanksgiving to your family, Trevor. Whoever's typing this, probably your mom, say, may all of you have a joyous Thanksgiving day. Be safe in your travels. Hugs to all. Enjoy celebrations and time spent with family, friends, and watching football.
Do
you think that's a mom
Lions
or dad
are on
comment?
the hot seat tonight. After the season they've had, they can't possibly lose tonight, right? That would look bad.
It would. Do you think that's a mom or dad comment? Who do you think wrote that? The one here. Do you think that was your mom?
That was probably my mom, yeah.
Oh, your mom, yeah. Yeah, the Lions play, what, 12:30?
I think that's right,
Ford
yeah.
Field. We have a couple friends and coworkers going down to Ford Field.
I know
that.
Maya's going to be there. Maya goes there every Thanksgiving. It's like her ritual.
Yep.
She goes there every Thanksgiving. She goes to every game. She's such a diehard fan.
She is, yeah.
You watch her talk about. She talks about the Lions the way that I talk about the Stars, the Dallas Stars. Like,
you get her started. Watch out.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yep.
By the way, I have a few words for my Dallas Stars last night. They lost 6-2 to Chicago. What a joke.
Oh,
that team is not even that good. That team is so terrible right now.
Okay.
And the Dallas Stars lost 6-2 to them. Unacceptable, especially after they just came off of a horrific night where they blew a 2-goal lead by giving up 5 goals in the third period against the Carolina Hurricanes. Absolutely unacceptable. And then they turn around and lose 6-2 to one of the worst teams in the league. I'm not happy. I saw that when I woke up this morning. I was like, I didn't see it because I tried to go to bed, and I was like, it's a hockey game distraction. I can't do that.
It's early in the season, right?
Right. Well, we're a quarter of the way through the season now, and they're still losing game 6-2 to Chicago, apparently.
I'm just trying to look on the bright side. I'm sorry, Trevor.
I get so worked up whenever they don't do well. It's so hard.
You okay? There, you want to go to my mom's comment?
yeah, let's keep going.
Okay, all right.
Sorry for distracting the show.
No, don't apologize. Here, I'm coughing here. Yes, so my mom says Happy Thanksgiving, and I say it back to you, Mom.
Happy Thanksgiving.
She said Brendan looks very handsome with the 3-piece suit. Yeah, I took the jacket off, just kept the vest on, so thank you, Mom. And Trevor looks handsome, too. You were such a trooper, working all the crazy hours. Yeah, filling in for Heather, switching up your schedule. We appreciate it.
The turnaround on the first day is a little rough, but after you've done it once, it's like, actually, today wasn't bad at all. I found it easy to get to sleep and had a lot of energy when I woke up this morning.
Yeah, Trevor has more energy than I think all of us combined here who work on this shift on a normal basis. So I don't know how you do it, Trev.
Yeah, and I don't use caffeine. That's the big thing. People always tell me, like, you don't drink coffee? No, I don't like coffee.
Imagine Trevor on coffee.
Imagine if I was on
bouncing
caffeine.
off the walls here.
Are you kidding me?
And yeah, my mom said, have a wonderful day, Facebook friends. Thanks, Mom. Susie Q's guessing 13. Excuse me. Wally, you know I'm going to do that. I don't want to blow out your eardrum. Sorry about that. Okay, back to Wally here. For the one question today, happy Thanksgiving. Oh, okay, this is what he's talking about. So we have a weather quiz and a question of the day. So we have a couple different questions that we ask our viewers. So he's talking about the question of the day.
Oh, okay. That was Lions trivia.
Yes, Lions trivia, thank you. Yep, so it's been since 2016 when the Lions have won on Thanksgiving Day when they played the Vikings. You are absolutely correct, Wally.
Yep.
He's paying attention.
Yep.
And Susie Q said you guys look so handsome as usual. Love the vest, Brendan. And we get what Gaylord gets. So exciting. Oh, for skiing.
Yeah, skiing is gonna be real part. Like once all the snow settles, all the mountains are gonna be open, especially Boyne Falls. They're in the thick of it anyway. It's possible they get so much snow they may not even need to make their own snow.
Oh, that's a good point.
They may not even need to. They just like whatever, let Mother Nature do her thing. Just come all snow monster, drop 2 feet of snow on us. We have business galore. It's like,
sorry, Susie Q, your comments just get me choked up here, obviously. Wally's back saying they started playing on Thanksgiving Day, 1934, and the first game they played was against the Chicago Bears. So they need to win today for the rival and to make the playoffs.
I had mentioned this to Brendan earlier, but I swear it's like anytime there's anything that happens with the Lions and Thanksgiving, it's almost always either the Vikings or the Bears.
Yeah, you did mention that, yeah.
All the time. It's always like the Vikings or the Bears. I guess it's probably just because they're in the same conference or division or however that works.
I don't know. But Wally, thank you for that history, and I believe every word you say. Same goes for you, Trevor, when it comes to sports and weather. No doubting any information there. We got Mark watching from Fremont, Indiana, saying Happy Thanksgiving. Wally's guessing 11. And probably your mom, who's maybe commenting, wants you to know that your brother's home through Saturday.
Oh, he is home. Okay.
Tyler's home through Saturday.
That makes sense.
And Sandy is saying, have a great Thanksgiving, guys. Thank you for working, and you both look great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And she's hoping that Heather feels better and gets her voice back soon.
Yep.
Yeah, not a good thing when your
that's what I
voice
was
goes
told.
away and you work in this business.
Yeah.
Not a
It's
good
like, like you work through colds. Like you know, it's not super bad to have a cold. You know, you work through that sometimes. You tough it out, but you can't work through like if your voice just stops working. That's not great for air.
No.
So.
No. All right, Trev. Looks like we're all caught up on comments and guesses.
All right, so I guess I'll go ahead and end on that. Then I'll end on first. I'll give the answer, and then I'll give a brief overview again of the weather, and I'm going to read the NWS packet verbatim, just so we understand.
Okay.
You understand exactly what's happening, because they sum it up a lot easier than I do. I feel like I do a pretty good job explaining, but they do it in less words. So we'll get to that. But the answer is 13 degrees, and again, that's in Celsius, right? And quick conversion, I was like, that's roughly 23 degrees. It's not exactly 23 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's roughly 23 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the minimum requirement to have any sort of lake effect event, whether it be lake effect snow or rain. That includes lake effect rain too. There has to be a minimum of 13 degree temperature differential from the surface temperature, the temperature of the water right above the surface, like a meter above the surface of the water, and 5,000 meters in the air. Meters, not feet. It has to be 13 degrees Celsius. And then you see the bottom comment below the temperature, below the Fahrenheit conversion. Larger differences beyond that create heavier snow bands. And so this happened pretty similarly, pretty recently I mentioned the Hamilton lake effect snow from Buffalo that dropped 80 inches of snow in 72 hours. The temperature differential between Lake Erie and the sky during that event was 25 degrees Celsius. So when you get really large temperature, the larger the temperature differential, the more intense the snow bands are. The more snow bands, you get more snow bands, and the snow bands are more intense. And that creates snow squalls and all that sorts of stuff. So there you go. Now you know. That's how lake effect snow works. And again, there is our standings. Look at that. Gib and Sarah are absolutely killing it this week. As Sarah would say if she was here, slay.
Slay.
Perfect 4 for 4.
Let's focus on them. Yes. Yeah, way to go, team. All right, Gib, thank you. That's enough. Good job. Oh, our Facebook viewer of the day, Michigan Doodle Rescue.
The Michigan Doodle Rescue Connect joined us live today for the Facebook question earlier. They guessed 11. But,
yes.
Thank you for joining us. That was pleasure to have you here. Yeah.
And we'll chat quickly about what's coming up tomorrow. And did you go through everything you needed to, Trev?
Yeah.
With your
the packet. Right. I totally forgot about that.
We'll talk about, I guess, what's coming up tomorrow quick, and then we'll go back to the weather quiz. So we'll be here 4:30 to 7. Not sure if Trevor's going to be with us again tomorrow. Maybe Heather will be back. Not sure. But starting at 6 a.m., Madison Stoddard is going to be live in Glen Arbor in Leelanau County. Apparently, you can shop there for Black Friday in your PJs, Trevor. And yeah, there's going to be a bed parade. It's a fun tradition there in Glen Arbor. So that's where Madison's going to be live starting at 6 o'clock.
All right.
I'm not sure if she's going to be in her pajamas, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, at least let's put it this way. You're in comfortable clothes, right?
Yes.
I do that anyway. Anytime outside of work, I'm in my most comfortable clothes. It's 32 degrees outside. Yeah, I don't care. I'm wearing shorts. Thank you very much. I brought shorts with me to work today, and I'm going to change into immediately once I'm off the clock. All right. So the packet, before I forget again. All right. I have my phone in front of me because I couldn't pull it up on the computer. This computer didn't want to pull it up for a reason. This is the National Weather Service packet for Gaylord for this snowfall event over the next 84 hours. I'm going to read this verbatim. I'm not going to mince any words here. This is exactly what they say. Long duration lake effect snow event cranks up tonight, as I mentioned, past like 7 o'clock, lasting through at least Saturday night. So that's, of course, basically like an 84-hour period. 84-hour snowfall totals by Sunday morning could be anywhere of 15 to 25 inches possible, especially in typical west-northwest flow lake effect areas. That's the northwest snow belt. Snowfall rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour are possible. Intense narrow bands of snow combined with gusty winds lead to dangerous travel, including rapidly changing conditions in and out of snow bands. Again, that's another important thing too. That's what I always tell people, to not underestimate lake effect snow, because it might not seem that bad. You just think, oh, like this isn't so bad. And then you drive a mile down the road, you're in a snow squall, and all of a sudden you can't see anything at all. And conditions change very rapidly. It's extremely dangerous. So please be aware of that. Take the utmost caution if you're out on the roads today, or any time of the next week, I would say. Worst conditions expected tonight through Saturday evening. So again, or basically over the course of the next 48 hours. late tonight, all of Friday, and basically all of Saturdays, we're looking at the most intense northwest lake effect snow. And then, oh yeah, hazards, final hazards. Accumulating lake effects snow, high chances, a greater than 70% chance for at least 12 inches in 72 hours across typical northwest lake effect snow belts, both in the eastern upper and northern lower. Blowing, drifting snow causes reduced visibility, rapid changes in conditions in and out of snow bands. Timing and duration, light snow today ramping up dramatically tonight, lasting through Saturday night. Heaviest snow expected tonight through Saturday night, as I'd already mentioned. And then there's like a couple images they had where they're showing like the lake effect snow area plus minus percentages and stuff like that that I can't show. But that is verbatim from the National Weather Service, which they have more experience than I do. So if you don't believe me, please believe them, right? And I'll finish off by just saying happy Thanksgiving, and please safe travels.
Yes, I echo that. And we will be back here tomorrow at 8:35. Trevor might be with us. Heather might be with us.
Yep, same thing as yesterday, pending details.
Yes.
I may be here. I also may not. We'll see.
And Gib wants us to know that there is a freighter going under the Mackinac Bridge right now.
He's right. There is.
It's right behind Trevor's head and right under the bridge. Oh, yep, there it goes, from Lake Huron to Lake Michigan. With that, we will wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Trevor, for being here, for providing all this information. Thanks, Gib. Any messages for our friends? He says no. He was quick on that. Take care. Be safe. Bye.